For staying with the Monday Report, the town hall begins right now. We are talking about beyond the school compound. How are the parents supporting learning and development of their children? This is a continued series of the state of education in collaboration with Zizi Afrique Foundation. Before I introduce my guest, and we have parents from all over. We have parents from Machakos, Kajiado, Nairobi, Bungoma, parents, teachers, also youths and students themselves in the audience. But before we get into all that, let me set the stage for this conversation we're having later on today, in just a few minutes actually. Over 15 million learners are now home for the Christmas holiday. Many parents across the country now having to contend with the reality of curious minds at home, facing a litany of dangers from physical to mental and even online safety concerns. So the question then is, what alternatives exist for parents to keep their children safe, engaged, while still connected with what's to come when the schools reopen next year? Our reporter Emily Chebet examines some of the options and the strategies that the parents are currently exploring. Listen.
At Kabasi's area of Sacho in Baringo County, Carol Chebet, a mother of 3 preteens, welcomes us to her home. 2 of her children have just completed their grade 6 assessments, while her son is preparing to join grade 8. During this long holiday, she says she is using the break to strengthen discipline and responsibility at home. As the girls help in the kitchen and the boy feeds the livestock, she believes the routine will help keep them occupied, away from unsafe distractions.
Children are very good imitators. If we don't show them how to participate actively in the community work, at home, and even at the society, they may fail to get exposed and even to fit in.
When they are not involved in household chores, the girls attend a youthful-based program run by the local church. Rosaline Cheromit teaches them crocheting and other core life values.
Watoto wenye wanawacha shule juu ya kupata mimba. Na hiyo ni shida moja imeletea wazazi shida sana. Kwa sababu watoto wakitembea ovyo wanaenda kila mahali kukutana na marafiki wengi. Saa hii kuna watu wa boda ndio wanapoteza watoto sana. Ndio tunaona kwamba tukae karibu na wasichana.
In Narok County, where early marriages and teen pregnancies remain a challenge, similar activities are underway. Here, girls are engaging in beadwork and sewing, passing time while building important life skills.
Niko na watoto kama 10 na iko pale nyuma. Nimelipa mahali wanakalia hapo. Na pia wangu wako. Najifunza mashini, anajifunza kushona shanga.
Tunawaelezea venye material inaitwa, kukata, hiyo venye tape measure inatumika. Wanakuja kama hakuna hawajui.
Justus Nyabuto, an assistant chief from Kisii County and a parent himself, is urging families to take their roles seriously to prevent school dropouts come January.
Nimeita baraza 2-3 hivi, tumeongea na wazazi, tumewaambia watoto wao wakae kwa nyumba, ama kama hawana kitu ya kufanya, wakae tu wakiangalia hata watoto wenzao mahali wako.
And as rural areas find alternative engagements for learners, parents in urban areas have now contend with safety concerns in towns. Many school-going children are exposed to tech devices, unavailable parents as they attend to their economic activities while the dangers of urbanism lurk. But beneath the daily routines throughout this long holiday, there is a deeper concern. Many parents say they have not interacted with the senior school curriculum and have no idea how to prepare learners who have just completed their junior school assessment.
We even don't know how to get ready because even the children themselves feel that they have just completed the pre-primary examinations. They are not aware on what to get ready for.
Education officials maintain that materials for grade 10 are being finalized and teacher training completed. But for parents in rural areas, information gaps remain large. Grade 10 marks the start of specialization under competency-based education, where learners choose pathways in arts, sports science, social sciences, or STEM. The ministry now says results of the KJSEA assessment will be out on December 11th, with placement to senior school expected shortly after. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV.
Now that story sets the stage for our conversation. Let me introduce my guest, starting from my immediate left. We have Dr. Mary Chepkemoi. She's the manager, Gender at the Zizi Afrique Foundation. Thank you for making time. Next to her is Patrick Andika, Assistant Director, Consultancy and Partnership at the KICD. Thank you for making time. Next to him is Beatrice Ogutu, Executive Director, Investing in Children and Their Societies. Asante for making time. And last but not least, George Sikulu, CEO, National Parents Association. Thank you for making time. And Sikulu, I'll start with you on this. So what are some of the specific actions do you believe that parents should take to support children during the school term and the holidays, especially the holidays where they are right now?
Thank you very much, Trevor. First of all, let me appreciate all the parents that have come, but also to appreciate that in the room we also have leadership of the parents. We have National Chair within the room. Thank you for coming. We also have Nairobi Chair, Jaso, Mio, Nairobi Secretary, Alphonse. We have Nairobi Organizing Secretary, Frida, Treasurer, Leonard Kirui, Vice Chair, Martha Mugi. We also have sub-county chairs here, Hashington and William, and then also Kajiado Chair, Lepaso. And then the rest are also our parents from different locations. Yeah, again, National Parents Association is enacted in the law, in the Basic Education Act of 2013, as an association of parents associations, which are within the schools, and they are charged with the responsibility of promoting learner welfare while education is going on. So parenting does not stop because the child has gone to school. So we ensure that while the child is in school, that their rights are safeguarded. And so we promote nutrition, we promote health, we promote water sanitation and hygiene in school, and we also promote positive nurture. So it is on that, against that backdrop that we say that we are interested in what goes on between parents and children. Because if parents don't parent, academics will be affected. And so what parents ought to do to support academics in school, one of them, of course, is that the parents need to be a motivation factor to the child in terms of the direction that they want to take. Parents do occupy a position of authority in the life of a child. And so the things that they value are the things that the children think are valuable. So the first thing is to show them by example that you value respect, that you value honesty, that you value hard work, then they'll do that. The second thing, of course, is that the children see academics as a task. And because it is a task, then it's challenging. And they need someone to cheer them on. And so the parents need to be the first cheerleaders of the child, and the parents ought to find out what the academic work that the child has and support them. And we are not asking parents to necessarily understand the theory in the various subjects that the children are given as assignments, but we are asking them to be there for them, to cheer them as they do that. And the third thing is that we need to remember the reason why that this is a holiday, and the children have come for holiday. Holiday is not work time. So therefore, if the children have come for holiday, what do they want in a holiday? Many of the children will tell you that we miss our bed. So start from there. Let them enjoy home, please. So don't keep them working full time. They are not in school now. They are at home. So good food, hopefully you saved a little bit and you have some chicken in your fridge now. Let them eat something different from what is in school. Okay. The second thing is that they have come to relate. So let them relate with you. Find time to be with them. Bond. They want to go out to visit other people, go out with them. So they are looking for connections and for relationships as well.
Okay. Let me hear from the parents. I know the parents from Bungoma here, Machakos, Kajiado. Where are the parents from Bungoma, and where's the microphone so that they see where the microphone is? Let's hear from the parents whether this is something you're able to do, relating with your children and also finding out. By a show of hands, let me see the parents from Bungoma. I'll start with you, but you already have the microphone, so you can come to you directly. Yes, sir. Let's start with you. Yeah.
Bishop Leonard Kirui, I'm a parent from Nairobi. I think I will concur with what George has said, that children need connection. And I would relate with those days when we were also children. Every other time when we closed the school, we wanted the parents to be very close to us, talk to us, and even guide us in various things that we needed to do, so that at the end, when we go back to school, we will go back to school refreshed, ready to face the term again.
So, Bishop, how do you balance that? Because you see, the schools have been closed for the children.
Yes.
But you continue to go to work. So it's not like you have a lot of time now. So how do you balance that, being there for the children and also continue with your work?
I tend to think that the child does not need me all the time.
Okay.
I'll create time for them. And because I know when I come back in the evenings and maybe before I leave to the office, if I would be a very early riser, I would make sure that I will have time with the children before I go to the office. And also when I come back, I would come back on time. This is not the time now to do overtime. When you are a parent who has a child at home, it's time that you will take break from overtime and come back maybe at around 6 o'clock, 5:30, you are at home, and to take time now to relate with that child. Otherwise, the child will miss you the same way he misses you when he's in school.
It's only that you're bishop, so you say you take overtime. Some people say one or two for the road. So this is not the time for 1 or 2 for the road. Let's hear from you. Yes. How do you balance this? Yes.
Okay, I'm speaking as an educator, and not as a parent in this forum. So, as an educator, what I've come to learn, the relationship between parents and students, or as children, the relationship between the parents and the children with the current world is very minimal. Parents tend to be busy looking for. They say in Kiswahili, wanaenda kutafutia watoto. I don't know watoto walipoteza nini wanatafuta hadi leo. So, that language, sometimes they leave this, now that the schools have closed, they even still contact the teachers to talk to their children at this moment that they have their own children. It means they cannot even manage and handle their own children. There's a disconnect. Some of them even send their children back to the upcountry, those who live in town, because they are very busy in town, and therefore they don't want the children to mingle around, so they send them back to upcountry so that they can be engaged there with their
Wakaina Shosho.
Okay. So I think parents, there's a big gap, and that's why we are having eradication of culture, because many children are very idle. So to the Parents Association, what are your mitigations, or what are your channels that you are communicating? You are talking to what are the ways that you are going to use to communicate to parents, to create awareness that they need to have their children around? Let me hear from, there's a parent who raised a hand right there. Yes, we pass the microphone up to Chini. Yes, you can pass it to the lady over there. Start with your name, Tafadhali, and then just tell us what are some of the challenges you face when you're trying to support your child's learning at home.
Okay, my name is Margaret. For me, first is a complaint. I can say that they have been given a very long holiday. Why can't it be changed?
So you want them back in school earlier?
It's so long that, at times we leave so early in the morning by 5. Actually, there is a time 3 days ago, in our plot, as I was leaving by 5, 10 kids were out playing.
At 5 a.m.?
Yes, they are taking advantage of their parents. We've left, and they're outside playing. Just tell me, if it's an opinion, I would ask the government and the church if they can consider taking the children to the church to organize something for the kids because of that. We are leaving too early.
But isn't this entirely your responsibility at that point? Because they are your children. They're back home. The school has done, the teachers have done their part. They are with you now.
No,
isn't it entirely your responsibility?
We are living by 5. You can't always be there. The child needs to eat. We need to pay rent. We need to do things. We need to make them happy. But you can't just stay there with the child.
Okay. But what do you suggest now? You can't suggest taking them back to school. They are on holiday
that's why I'm asking if they can help us organize even with the church, that at least they can be doing something also in the church. As I leave early in the morning, they can also be having somewhere they are going, and they continue learning.
Okay. You can pass the microphone back there. There's still many parents there who want to speak. And then I'll hear from the learners what you prefer to do. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is Mr. Munene. I came here as a parent. To how I'm helping my kids as a parent. Currently, I understand my kid is in grade 7. They are learning a technical area called pre-technical areas. It was just another day when I was at home. We are just preparing a shed. That learner challenged me with a tri-square and measuring everything. So for me, I say even they need more holiday so that we can be close to them to understand their nature. So that we can understand them.
Yeah.
You know, as we are talking about pathway, you cannot nurture and connect that learner without knowing where he has the interest and ability.
Okay.
And I was lucky to visit a certain place. I don't remember the name, but my colleague and my friend who has visited that place, they can remind me for the name of that place.
Yeah.
I was educated about the pathways.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can pass the microphone to them, and there's also a microphone somewhere here. Yes, ma'am. As you pass the microphone back there.
Before I pass,
yes,
let me just ask a quick one.
Yeah.
Frida Amboi, PH Lavington Primary and a parent, Dagoretti High School. My question is direct to Mr. Sikulu.
Yeah.
He has said, let them feed now. So my question is, how does a parent cope with costs during this holiday?
Okay.
Thank you.
The issue of costs. Okay. Yes, you can pass the microphone. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. I'm Vincent. Just to respond to friend here, we went to an area in Kamakis called Gravity CBC Center. So what they do, they expose learners to experiential learning. Yeah. They do practicals. And parents, I remind you, it's not closed yet. You can take a kid after learning. There is fun also. They can swim, they can do things. Then after that, there is this thing of parental empowerment in curriculum implementation.
Yeah.
So in this case, you will be educated on how to handle this child. And I think the government is also supporting such programs so that we eradicate this issue of negative notion about CBC curriculum.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. You have the microphone.
Thank you.
There's a lady here. Please pass the microphone to her. Yes.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is Alfonso Wino. I am first a parent at St. George's Girls. My daughter actually is sitting her exam. I should pick her on 20th. That's 2 days from today. And I'm also a Secretary General Nairobi County Parents Association. I feel so much happy to see this team seated here because some of us have interacted with Ziz Africa, KICD, and our CEO is also there. I think, Trevor, truth is there's so much information that is not down at the grassroots. And that would be the starting point because the parents seated here, majority of them, have been trained. Everybody speaking of Gravity Center, where all of us, actually some of these parents seated here are more trained in CBE education more than the teachers. The teachers are now training. Most private schools, as we are talking, ndio nasikia walimu wao wanafunzwa. So they are not ready for those students like we are ready. We are already too ready for our students that it is not right to say that you need them back. Trevor, in my role as a secretary of Nairobi County Parents Association, I have noted one common complaint, that when the learners and students are sent back to us, when they go back to school, they are zero. Like the teachers have to start from zero.
So the parents didn't
do anything. And this is what you are hearing here, that it is only a week old.
Yeah.
Some of them are still even in school and we are already complaining that it is too much, there's too much noise. We want the girls and the boys back to school. I am telling you, the CBE education is so much engaging that if Zizi Africa and all our partners continue doing the right thing, because we want this same information to reach Loitoktok, Kajiado, and the uttermost part. And we thank Citizen because you've been active partners to us. Right now, I know over 10 or so million households are watching us. And this is not enough. This needs to be devolved into the grassroots. We would want to see Trevor somewhere in Kapedo, with parents in Kapedo.
That's an interesting choice, but yeah.
Or Sugutamarmar. And to the uttermost part of this world, because we have so much information that is lying here, and with you, that if it is not devolved down there, we will continue complaining. I would not want our students and learners 2-3 months down the line to go back, and we are doing a head count, and we are realizing, and I'm happy you're here, that a girl child, we have this number that is missing because of 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Okay. And so because of time...
Yeah. We will come back. This is still an open conversation, and I see very many hands are up. But let me come back to Ogutu for a short while. I'll come back to you and also hear from the learners because they're already here. And Ogutu, there are several issues that are coming up. One, there's the issue of costs. There's the issue of timing. So how do you balance work, home responsibility, and your child's learning needs?
Thank you, Trevor, for the question. And indeed, very interesting conversations that are going on, because holiday seasons are a double-edged sword for parents. So it's a time for fun because our children are back home, but it comes with its own share of stresses. And I know some of us have already talked about them. So at Investing in Children and Their Societies, we work towards a world where every child, every woman, every man, and every family is able to thrive. And therefore, working together with parents, with caregivers, we seek to create home environments that are safe, that are stable, that are nurturing, and that are loving. And in so doing, we work a lot with parents alongside to see what can parents do. How can we build on their strengths? How can we reflect together with them the challenges that they are facing so that we come up with solutions that are homegrown in your own home? Because what works in your home may not work in another's home. So one of the things that is very critical, the family is the first home for a child, and the parent is the first educator. I know our schools help us in terms of nurturing their academic skills and life skills, but our God-given roles as parents and caregivers is to take time. And it's beyond really providing the basic needs. It goes beyond food, shelter, and clothing, which is fundamentally important. But at the end of the day, intentionality in creating time to be together with our children, to connect, to build that relationship. I appreciate that parents are busy. And in Nairobi or in major towns, or sometimes even in the rural areas, parents wake up very early in the morning, they come back home in the evening, but this is a season to make that intentional time. And we are not saying take 8 hours. We are saying you can take 2 hours and make it very quality time to interact, to know your child, to guide them. Because in aspects of training your child up, in aspects of disciplining them, in the aspects of guiding them, then you need to be there. If you don't, somebody else is doing. I think there is a common Kiswahili saying that says, asiyefunzwa na, and siku hizi nataka kusema si mama, asiyefunzwa na wazazi wake, atafunzwa na ulimwengu. Because the father and the mother in the home must work as a team. And share that time and share that load in taking care of our children at home. We know time is really limited, but intentionally creating time. If I have to come back home early, if I have to reorganize my schedule, then you must be very, very deliberate. The other thing that we have seen that works very well, because you don't need a lot of time. There was a question that was also asked around the costs. Of taking care of children, and I know parents say, hey, is it 2 months? These 2 months, the budget that we will be used in this house to eat, depending on the number of your children. So parents have come up with very creative solutions around bulk buying. So you look for marketplaces where you can buy food in bulk. And for those who live in urban centers and middle income levels, I think it's also a season where junk food is very common, but it's also not healthy. So intentionality in parents in creating healthy lifestyles, and you can work together with your children at home, because the issue I love about CBE it teaches our children these life skills.
Yeah.
It's a moment at home where you balance rest, you balance fun, and you reinforce the learning that our children have gotten in school, engaging them in activities that are very, and you know, using their time to reinforce what they have learnt in school, but also gives you time to know them, because each of your children, in as much as you've raised them, each one of them is unique, and you cannot have a standard approach in raising each and every one of your kids. What can be standard within your home are the values and the principles and the limits of behavior, what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
But for you to know and connect with your child, you must be very intentional. And last, Trevor, parents must take care of themselves. A parent who is stressed, a parent who is angry, shows up very differently in that particular home. So we also advocate for parents to take care of themselves, to rest, to eat well, so that you show up well, because our children learn so much from what they see rather than what you tell them sometimes. So building on what George had talked about, being very good, positive role models is also showing by example rather than by telling and setting rules all the time. Makes a lot of difference.
Let me hear from the parents. What are some of the unique skills how are you training your children when they're with you when it comes to life skills and learning also academic activities? What are some of the things you do as a parent?
Okay, thank you. My name is Mio Jarso Boru, the chairman Nairobi County Parent Association. First of all, I would like to state that the future of any nation lies in the hand of their children and youth. And there's need for us as parents to guard their interests jealously at all times. I would also like to state that parenting in this digital era is an uphill task. It's not a walk in the park, where children have access to harmful sites through TikTok, through WhatsApp, through Facebook, through Instagram, through what? Name them. There's need for every parent to put parental control on all the electronic gadgets in their house, especially during this period of holiday, so that none of our children will be able to access those harmful sites. Another point is that they say idle mind is devil's workshop. It is incumbent upon us as parents to make sure that our children are busy and doing constructive work during this period of holiday. Be it gaining religious knowledge, be it sporting activities, or other education matters. And finally, Trevor, allow me to thank the government for the recent launch of training manuals for parents on inculcating national values on children and youths. That is very commendable, considering the magnitude of challenges arising for our children and youths in this country. So that is quite commendable. The capacity of our parents are built, and we thank the government also for their commitment to fund our future programs.
There's a lady right next to you. Just hand over the microphone, then we hear what your thoughts are. I'll come to this side in just a short while.
Thank you, Trevor. I'm Margaret Korir, and I want to say this. I'm a parent, and our children have been in school for the 3 terms. This is term 4, and term 4 now is us parents. And as parents, we have to style up. Things are changing. The children are a step ahead. But as a parent, you have to be 3 steps more, because things have changed. The way to go now is talk with them, have a conversation with them, and not shouting. You know, some of us parents, when things are very tough, we want to put our voice there. They don't listen to that nowadays. They listen to, we have a conversation and engaging them in church. Somebody mentioned church is the way to go, because if you take your child to church on a Sunday, whatever is taught there will stick and they'll remember. So as parents, we have to do a bit more, because if we don't do that, we'll be overtaken by events. Our children will be the ones telling us what to do, and that's not the way to go. So I want to encourage us parents we have to style up and love our children. Our children are looking for affirmation. Let's start it at home.
Okay.
And as father and mother, let's be very active in playing that role as a parent. Because if you don't do it there, it will be done elsewhere, as she said. Let's do it, and let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
And put God. Let's pray.
Okay.
Let's pray.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Pass the microphone behind you, but where's the microphone this side? Yes, then you'll pass it to the center because we haven't heard from this side.
Thank you, Trevor.
Yes.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is Roger Sodhiambo. I'm talking as a teacher. I'm a teacher. My concern goes to the parent association. You normally go behind teachers, especially when there is correction measures. Let me just put it open, caning. You normally go for the teachers. What happens now when it happens back at home? Do you go for parents? Do you take parents to court? Yes, that is one concern that I would wish to know. Secondly, Trevor, I can say that if this student or the learners or your children comes back from home, personally, I can tell you I learn a lot from them. They want to demonstrate what they learn at home. So one thing that we need to speak candid on is some of us or the parents are running from the responsibility or that role model that somebody was talking about. You try to display some items or you try to behave back at home in a way that your child will learn. Now, when this child goes back to school, he or she will try to demonstrate the same. So as a parent, there is some disconnect, part of the responsibility. Let us not run from the responsibility and know that once the students are at home or your children are at home, you need to be a role model.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Pass the microphone to the center. And where are the learners here? By a show of hands, let me hear from the learners. Only if you're comfortable speaking. Where are the learners? Let me see. Right there. Pass the microphone to the young man over there. Start with your name, young sir, and tell us what would you like from your parents? And how would you like to spend your holiday? Kama ni kulala, sema tu ni kulala tu. Yeah.
So, hi.
Hi, how are you?
My name is Emmanuel. I'd like to take this opportunity from you, Trevor Mbija. And my advantage is at home. The whole week I learn some lessons. I go for tuition for going to grade 8. And on Saturdays, I go for church practice to involve myself in Bible study so that I don't lose stuff. Yeah, that's how I involve my week.
Okay. And that's a good thing. No, let Emmanuel hold the microphone for a bit. Give Emmanuel the microphone and let's hear what you'd like to hear from the parents. What did you like your parents do for you? Give Emmanuel the microphone first so that Emmanuel finishes and then we'll pass to him. What did you like from the parents? So anytime when you're at home, what would you like them to do for you?
To reach us more.
Okay.
Yeah.
By speaking to you?
Yeah.
There's someone who mentioned corporal punishment. Does that work? Kutandikwa kibokesho. Be honest, Emmanuel.
It does work.
It does? Okay. Thanks, Emmanuel. You can pass the microphone to your fellow there. Yes, young sir, start with your name.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Victor Maina.
Yes, Victor.
I always go to library.
Okay.
But we pay.
You pay for it?
Yes.
Okay, that's where the challenge is.
Yes.
Okay. And apart from the library, what else do you do?
I play football.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sports is the best thing for you?
Yes.
Okay.
But what I would like to tell our parents is that they should create time for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How often? Let me hear. Let him say with the microphone for a bit. How often would you like this to happen? Do you want them to talk to you every day, every week, every weekend?
No, they should just create time to talk to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you share your issues with them?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. He's a very brilliant young man. And yes, there's a microphone in the center here. Let's hear what you have to say. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Trevor. My name is Kevin. And I'll go hard a little bit on parents, and then I'll go hard on teachers. Because first, let me start with parents. I've come to realize that a child a child does not listen to what you say, but 100% he will do what you do. He is a copy paste. Like how I learned this, I have a 1-year-old, and we have shakers, the shakers that the kids play with. I gave him a shaker, and he ran, and then I took my phone, I went to the coach. Nikaona ametupa ako kashika hivi, afu akakuja kwa simu. I was like, why did the kid do that? So later I came to realize that mtoto anashindwa, wewe kwa nini ushindi na ako kashika the whole day hivi? Uko na simu hapo, lakini kwa nini ushindi? So I think as parents we need to style up. So that the values that we want to our kids to learn, they originate from us. For example, so what did I do after that? Nikaona, I think I need to teach him something better than so that the word of God says, teach a child in the way that he should go, and akikua, he'll not depart from it. So what did I do? And so for me, I'll need to learn a skill so that during each time yake naweza mfunza. So I started reading books. Nikaanza kuchukua vitabu na nikasema hiyo TV ondolewe kwa sitting room. So kwangu sina TV. So free time yake ako wapi? Kwa vitabu, na cause ameniona mimi kwanza kwa vitabu, na yeye so ako kwa vitabu. That is it. So another thing I've noted, I think there is a gap. We have a dysfunction between the school system and the kids. We cannot be having kids running to holidays. Like sisi venye tunatokanga, we wait for the Friday evening ati tunatoka job. Because it is stressful, and it's like we are escaping. So we cannot have a system where kids are escaping the school to holidays. I think we need I think the school system need to have a program that identifies strengths and weaknesses za kids, so that we can delve more on the strength than the weaknesses, so that the school become enjoyable and not some place kila mtu anataka kutoka ati aende nyumbani. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me hear from Andika before I take a break. I'll take a bit, but Andika, let me hear from you. What is the best way of dealing with the children to develop the core competences and values under CBE? Because it's been raised by the parents, talking to them and all that. But how do you support the children to develop those core competences and values under CBE?
Thank you, Mpija. I think one of the things we need to appreciate from what we have heard in the room, and even the stories from Sacho all the way to Kisii to Narok, we need to appreciate that parenting is one of these skills you never learn anywhere. That means there is no correct approach to which you will say, this is the perfect one that is going to work in each and every home. Number two, we need to appreciate that we are parenting, yes, but we are parenting children of different ages. And depending on the child you are parenting, like a parent who is talking about a 1-year-old, what would be working for a 1-year-old may not be able to work for a 17-year-old. Because their needs are different, the abilities are different, and the orientation will be different. But then we need to appreciate that parents have a bigger role to play, especially in the competency-based curriculum, where we want to have an engaged, an empowered, and an ethical citizen coming from our houses. So the question of what is the role of the parent in helping the child develop those competences. The number one and very important role is you, as the young student there has said, to create time to understand your child. Why is it important to understand the child? Is because the moment you begin to understand, for example, when you understand that children have different intelligences. Gardner talked about 9 different types of intelligences that children may be endowed with, and they are not all endowed with it in the same proportion. That is why a learner that has a high mathematical logical intelligence would enjoy actually sitting in the house and being able to work on those activities that will enhance their critical thinking, their problem-solving ability. They may look like they are lonely. They don't want to play with others. But there may be another one who has a high verbal linguistic intelligence, and you may find that in the house, they enjoy having the remote with them. They want actually to move from one program to another, because that is the nature of their intelligence. This is the person who will become the Ombijas of the future. When you deny them that opportunity, these are the fellows actually even in school who are being caned for noise making. But it was not a mistake. That was a type of intelligence. Imagine somebody like Kingangi. Do you think he would have kept quiet when he was in school? But what happens, as parents, sometimes we want all of them to be quiet, like we think all of them are going to become engineers in the future. So understanding your child, when you see this one who wants to keep a cat in the home, this one who can take care of chicken and a cow, this is a learner who has a high naturalistic intelligence. That means in future, this is the one who can become an agricultural officer. This is the one who can go for courses related to agriculture and so on. That is why you see it. Look at the children even when they are young and you put a dog there. There are those who may want to throw stones at the dog, but there are others who would want to embrace the dog. It tells you the difference between them. So development of competences, number one, Ombija, is where we create the environment where the child can be engaged in activities that are relevant to their own competences. Okay. So my first thing is, how do we understand our learners? How do we understand our children? Number two, how do we create an environment where there is consistent communication with them? Okay. At this particular time, children just want a parent to be available. We are not saying that you will stop working to be at home throughout. But we are saying to that child, the little time that we have, do we communicate with them? Do they really feel my parent is there? Because you can be in the house even for 24 hours, but if you are quiet throughout, are they feeling that you are available? Okay. You see? Yeah. And then the concept of nurturing values, because we are saying a competence-based curriculum is also a values-based curriculum. And everybody appreciates the fact that we need to model. Children will learn more from what we do than what we say. Okay. So what are we doing that we want this child to be able to copy, that they can demonstrate love, they can demonstrate respect, responsibility, care, and all those positive attributes that we want of a citizen of this country.
All right. Thank you so much. I have to take a quick break. We're back with much. I see there's a lot of comments also coming back. I'm coming back in just a short while. Let's take a quick commercial break. We're back with this conversation in just a short while. I see so far engaging them in church activities, sports, CBE centers, digital literacy, emotional support, and consistent communication. Yeah. If there's more that we can engage on, I'd like to hear from you as parents. But let's take that quick commercial break. We're back with much more in just a short while.